Well, it's February, and we know that here locally the military has begun receiving their permanent change of station orders that they'll be carrying out later in the year. Now, what does that mean to you? It means a whole lot of folks are going to be putting their homes on the market to sell. The majority of these sellers will turn to a realtor for assistance because they understand that the current market requires more than simply sticking a for sale sign in their yard if they have realistic expectations about selling their home. And by the way, it also requires more than simply putting it on the MLS as well. Now, most are going to call a realtor that they already have some sort of relationship with and already lack in trust. Now, if you've been doing the things that the company has been mentoring you about, then you should be the first name that comes to mind to help them sell. I'm going to give you a few more things to think about when you're on your way to a listing presentation. Now, most of these are just common sense items and probably come naturally without any consideration whatsoever, but there's no harm in a short refresher. First and foremost, you must have a genuine desire to help your potential customers and clients carry out their plans. Period. If you don't have that genuine desire, then you're probably in the wrong business, because this is a service business. So I'm going to assume that is a given, and that you've also done your due diligence in researching and preparing a professional presentation, preferably along the lines that we've covered in some of our career development sessions, that shows how you and your company are best suited to help them. So with that being said, let's start with your getting ready to meet them. Now, for this example, you're planning to meet them at their home to go through your presentation. Rule number one, understand this is a job interview. Dress appropriately. Let's think about it for a minute, because what do most salespersons do? They show up dressed however they're dressed, with the mindset that they're going to sit down and in 20 minutes convince a seller why he or she should be spending thousands of dollars with them. I want you to ask yourself, if you showed up at your door and wanted you to spend thousands of dollars looking the way you look, would you do it? Would you list with you? And I want you to answer honestly. Now, number two, give yourself plenty of time to get there. And I know we're all busy and we're all over town. We're driving with one hand. We're wolfing down some chips because that's our lunch with the other. We're talking on the cell phone and writing down notes on that conversation with the other. And, oh, wait a minute now, that's three hands. But wouldn't that help sometimes? The point is, you don't want to show up late, nor do you want to show up all frazzled. I'm even going to suggest that on the drive over there, put your favorite CD in the CD player. Put it on your favorite song and hum or sing along. If that's not going to work for you, think some kind of happy thoughts that make you feel happy, because if you're feeling happy, it's going to show. Now, third, when you pull into the driveway and gather all of your paperwork and are getting out of the car approaching the front door, smile. Because if you smile, the rest of your body's going to follow. Fourth, after you ring the doorbell and they answer the door, make sure that you're both friendly and professional when you introduce yourself, but still smiling. And as you walk in the house, find something in the home that you like and compliment them on it. For example, wow, your house smells very nice. Or you all did a fantastic job updating the kitchen cabinets. Something along those lines. Now, I didn't say make something up, because it needs to be genuine and truthful. But remember, this is their home and they are emotionally connected to it. They're going to feel good just like you feel good when somebody gives you a compliment, when you notice something in their home and have something nice to say about it. Next, odds are you're going to sit at the kitchen table to discuss your information with the sellers. And I have a personal opinion of that, but for the sake of today, we're just going to assume that the sellers made the decision for you to meet them at their home and to sit at the kitchen table to discuss the presentation. There are still a couple of things you want to consider here. First, don't sit in their seat. Let them direct you where to sit. And secondly, try to sit across from both sellers so that they're in front of you rather than you're sitting in between them. And this is simply for ease of the presentation. Now, finally, what you will be discussing with the sellers during your listing presentation is the subject of another video, and we will continue having training on that in our company training sessions. However, I want to emphasize that part of your dialogue must include open-ended questions. And those are questions you ask that require more than just a yes or no answer. And inquiries into their plans and their motivations. You have to know this. Because the bottom line is this. By the end of your presentations, the sellers have to like you and they have to trust you. They have to believe that you and your company have the ability, the knowledge, the skill, and the capability to help them get their house sold in the time frame that they need it sold so that their family can continue on with their plans. After all, that is why they are hiring you. Now, I want to tell you that this video is embedded in a newsletter that we send out. If you are not receiving this newsletter and would like it, it's got some fantastic information. There'll be some additional marketing tips and educational updates. Please send me an email to ken@kenbrandon.com, and in the subject line, simply put request newsletter, and I'll be happy to add you to the list. It's absolutely free, and it's a fantastic educational opportunity.